it come and watch you see it. Take out and leave us alone. Away from your door. Say what you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you're not but please tell you. We got tomorrow, but tonight I was telling you. Let's come down, make it last now. Girl, I'm hoping I'll be your best girl. I love you down, let you know. Tell you just you gotta get low. Back away from the door, just keep running in. From the line, running in. She got me starting now, there ain't no stopping it. So you're popping it, they keep coming, watch you see it. You gotta leave us alone. Back away from the door, I want it all. Gotta let me get it on. From the bed to the floor, against the wall. I'ma get it started, turn around and hit it all. And baby, tell them it's on. Back away from the door.
Yeah. What it do, firm? How y'all doing? I told you I'll be back at it. Let go. I'm sorry I'm late. I know y'all gonna kill me. I'm late. But I had some interesting things happen in the midst of it. I had some real interesting things happen. Yeah. Just to let y'all know, because I do have the drill sergeant here. Randa baby's in the building, so I gotta tell the truth. I had jerk chicken, white, not dark meat, and cabbage. I told you I'm doing good. No fried foods. I'm on better to a road to recovery. The road to recovery. I got to get this weight off, and I believe that I'm going to do it. So, what up, firm? What up, firm? Don't make me laugh, please. Don't make me laugh. Just give me y'all update. I had to go get breathing treatment. Yeah, I had to go get some stuff like that done. Yeah. Some people was telling me that they were blocked accidentally. I will get to that after this live. Excuse me. Depending on the current events that just happened about an hour ago, I might be coming back a third time today. Can y'all believe it? I might come back for a third time. Man, I'm doing enough reading a day to free the whole illiterate party. But while I was live, I heard a certain blogger had a lot to say. And that's okay. I understand. Her God is locked up. So I want to say no disrespect to you, because I'm not going to disrespect you. But I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, I smile because I'm happy and I'm free. That's all. That's all I'm going to say to you. I smile because I'm happy and I'm free. Then if I had to add another part, I would say, what can I add to that? And if Rob would be here, Rob would say, who has the final say? Jehovah has the final say. That's all. But I believe he don't have a bond right now. He's just sitting. It's wild, man. It's wild. I'm gonna tell y'all this. This Don Russell saga is not over. Something major is about to crack. That's all I can tell y'all. Something major is about to crack. And when it do, people gonna be living la vida loca. That means living a crazy life. I'm gonna go here. Like I say, anything that happens, but I update the firm first. We come first, and then I present it to the masses. The firm come first, and the firm includes all secondary pages that are blossoming right now, like Sylvia, infamous Sylvia. She passed me. She got 500 and something but she got 5,000 something subscribers, and I'm still at 3,000. So can y'all help me get to 10,000 subscribers, please? I need y'all help. I need everybody to subscribe to me. I'm jealous of Sylvia. It's like, no, I'm not. That's what it was for. It's for everybody to launch off and do their own thing. However, I'm going to say something like this. I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Maria said, I read that article about him. I was like, well, damn. Dana J been talking about Buddy for a long time, shaking my head. Hey, told y'all. Told y'all. But let's go here, because I want to go right into it. United States of America against Richard R. Line Jr. Richard R. Line Jr. Affidavit in support of arrest warrant. 18 USC 201 B3 1512 B1 2 and 3551 et sequence. Eastern District of New York. Selvette Renaissance, duly sworn, deposes and states that she is a special agent with the United States Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security investigations duly appointed according to law and acting as such. Let's go there. On or about and between January the 9th, 2020. I don't like this because y'all can only see half of the screen. I don't like that. But okay, we'll get to it. January 9th, 2020 and June 2020. Both dates being approximately and inclusive within the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere. The defendant, Richard R. Line Jr., together with others, did knowingly and intentionally attempt to corrupt, persuade another person, to wit, Jane Doe, an individual whose identity is known to the affiant, and engage in misleading conduct toward Jane Doe, with intent to influence, delay, and prevent the testimony of Jane Doe in an official proceeding, to wit, United States versus Robert Spencer Kelly, criminal docket number 19286. Hold on for a second, because this is about to get ugly. This is about to get ugly real quick. Hold on. 115 go for. Okay. Okay. Just had to make sure. All right. This is about to get ugly real quick. Title 18, United States Code, sections 1512, B1, 2, and 3551 et sequence. On or about and between January the 9th, 2020 and June 2020, both dates being approximate and inclusive within the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere. The defendant, Richard R. Line Jr., together with others, did knowingly, intentionally, and corruptly offer a thing of value to Jane Doe, and an individual whose identity is known to the affiant, with intent to influence the testimony under oath and affirmation of Jane Doe as a witness upon a trial, hearing, and other proceeding before a court authorized by the laws of the United States to hear evidence and take testimony, to wit, the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York, and with intent to influence Jane Doe to absent herself therefrom. Wow. Title 18, United States Code, sections 201B3, 2, and 3551 et sequence. The source of your deponent's information and the grounds for her belief are as follows. I'm a special agent with the United States Department of Homeland Security Investigations, and have been since 2008. I am currently assigned to, I don't want to read all that again. Okay. Previously, I was assigned to narcotics. Okay. Previously, I was assigned to narcotics and counter proliferation squads. I am responsible for conducting and assisting in investigations into the activities of individuals and criminal groups responsible for sex and human trafficking and related offenses. In that capacity, I have participated in investigations involving the debriefing of sex trafficking and sex abuse victims, review of telephone records, cell site location, and GPS data, review of money transfer records, surveillance, analysis of PIN register information, and the execution of search warrants, including the execution of search warrants on computers and other electronic media. As a result of my training and experience, I am familiar with the techniques and methods of operation used by individuals involved in criminal activity to conceal their activities from detection by law enforcement authorities. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York and the Department of Homeland Security Investigations, New York Field Office are investigating Robert vs. Kelly, also known as R. Kelly, and others for their participation in a racketeering enterprise involving robbery, extortion, and production of child pornography, transportation of women and girls across state lines to engage in illegal sexual activity, including sexual contact with individuals who were too young to consent to such activity under state law, and failure to notify sexual partners of a sexually transmitted disease prior to engaging in sexual intercourse in violation of state law. The related substantive offenses, and for arranging for travel and interstate commerce with intent to promote, manage, establish, and carry on an extortion in violation of state law. On June 20th, 2019, a grand jury in the Eastern District of New York returned the indictment charging Kelly with racketeering involving predicate racketeering acts as to 5 different women and 4 Mann Act violations. See United States versus Robert vs. Kelly. On July the 10th, 2019, the grand jury returned a superseding indictment, which added a forfeiture allegation. On December the 5th, 2019, the grand jury returned a second superseding indictment, adding an additional predicate act of robbery. On March 12th, 2020, the grand jury returned a third superseding indictment, the indictment against Kelly. Among the charges against Kelly in the indictment were offenses that carry a 10-year mandatory minimum sentence based on Kelly's sexual relationship with Jane Doe, an individual whose identity is known to the affiant when she was just 17 years old. A review of telephone records for a cellular phone number used by the defiant R. Jr. with a 708 area code and ending in 7687. I wonder who that could have been. Mr. Leak R. Kelly songs. Hereinafter, the R-Line 7687 telephone shows that Arlene Jr. communicated with 2 telephones used by Kelly prior to Kelly's federal arrest and incarceration in July 2019. The records also show that the defendant, Arline Jr., was in telephone contact with telephones believed to be used by the individuals identified herein as I-1, I-3, I-4, and I-5, whose identities are known to the affiant. Telephone records also show that I-3 was in contact with telephones used by Kelly prior to his federal arrest and incarceration in July 2019. And the records also show that Arline Jr. was in telephone contact with other telephone numbers that also were in telephone contact with Kelly prior to his federal arrest and incarceration in July 2019. The available records do not show any telephone contact between Arline Jr. and any telephones known or believed to be used by the individual identified herein as I-2. whose identity is known to the affiant, but the available records do not reflect iMessages or FaceTime telephone calls. On January the 8th, 2020, Jane Doe began cooperating with federal. On January the 8th, 2020, Jane Doe began cooperating with federal law enforcement. Several news outlets reported that Jane Doe was cooperating with federal law enforcement. On January 9th, 2020 at 3:16 a.m., an individual using the Instagram account Rich Dollars, oh my God, with vanity name Hood Rich. Hereinafter, the Hood Rich Instagram account sent Jane Doe a private message to her Instagram account that read, "You okay, baby?" Jane Doe did not recognize Hood Rich and did not respond. Based on a review of publicly accessible content on a Hood Rich Instagram account, including that apparent selfie, images posted on the account resemble a photograph of R-Line Jr. There is probable cause to believe that this account belongs to the defendant, Richard R-Line Jr. Okay, Mr. Leaks. On or about May 26, 2020, I1, who had been in communication with Jane Doe, exchanged the following series of text messages via iMessage with Jane Doe. I1, I have something to tell you. I1, Rob is trying to get his cousin Rich in contact with you because he wants to pay you for silence. Rich called me and I said, first name Jane Doe is done with Rob and she don't want shit from him and won't sign her name away to the devil. And all of y'all that thought he was cool. Following her receipt of the above text message, Jane Doe advised a federal law enforcement agent involved in the investigation of her receipt of the text messages. At the direction of federal law enforcement, Jane Doe thereafter continued to communicate with I1 regarding the subject matter of cousin Rich and payment by Rob via text message using iMessage. Jane Doe, I'm just curious as to how much Rob is trying to give me. Jane Doe, when did he call you? Because he texted me in January after everything in Chicago. I1, hiya. I just called Rich and he wants to do a 3-way call with us. 3. Can you do that right now? Jane Doe, dang, I actually have a full schedule today, but we can do it later. I already woke up mad late. Okay. Rich talked to Rob on the regular, and the only reason why I know Rich is telling the truth because Rob told him to get in touch with Bear, and Rich asked me who was Bear, and I said you. Based on my perception in this investigation, there's probable cause to believe that the Rob and the above text messages is a reference to Kelly. On the evening of May 26, 2020, at the direction of law enforcement, Jane Doe called I1 and I1, hold on. Jane Doe called I1 and I1 thereafter called the individual I1 referred to as Kelly's cousin, Rich, who there is probable cause to believe that the defendant, Richard R-Line Jr., and conference the telephone call so that Jane Doe, I1, and R-Line Jr. were in a 3-way telephone call. A review of telephone records for R-Line 7687 telephone and the telephone used by I1 shows that the R-Line 7687 telephone was used for the 3-way call with I1, Jane Doe, and R-Line Jr. A few hours later, at the direction of law enforcement, Jane Doe participated in a telephone call with R-Line Jr. over the R-Line 7687 telephone a second time. So she just setting, oh man. The telephone calls were recorded by law enforcement with the consent of Jane Doe. A law enforcement agent listened to the two calls described in the above paragraph during their transmission, and law enforcement agents have also reviewed the recordings of the calls. In the calls, Arline Jr. and Jane Doe repeatedly referenced the first name of I-2. Jane Doe has advised that I-2 was a close associate of Kelly, who had access to Kelly's funds since Kelly was incarcerated and in July 2019 at a federal detention facility. Law enforcement agents have further reviewed telephone calls placed by Kelly or at the direction of Kelly, which calls are recorded pursuant to the Federal Bureau of Prisons policy to record all non-legal calls placed by inmates, and have determined that Kelly regularly directs I-2 and others to direct I-2 to make certain distributions of money. In substance, during the recorded three-way telephone call described in paragraph 9 above, Arline Jr. discussed a proposal in which Jane Doe would receive $500,000. Here we go with this, in exchange for not continuing to cooperate with the government against Kelly. Following is a transcript of that portion of the three-way call described in paragraph 9. Oh my God. Arline Jr. They threw out a number. Jane Doe. So what's the number that they threw out? Arline Jr. I talked to I-2. And he was kind of like, hey man, what do you think you can do? Cause I don't. I threw out a number. I'm thinking 100,000. He was like, man, she ain't gonna go for that. That don't even sound like. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Jane Doe, never. Arline Jr., I'm like, what you thinking? He was like, $500,000. I wouldn't go for a $500,000 either. Jane Doe said. Arline Jr. Arline Jr. Oh yeah. I mean, what you trying to do? Jane Doe then told Arline Jr. over the airline 7687 telephone that she would need $1 million and wanted Arline Jr. to send her a small sum of money within the next 24 hours as a sign of good faith. During one of the continually recorded telephone calls described in paragraph 9, Arline Jr. explained how he had communicated with Kelly, who was incarcerated. That's not true. Jane Doe, I just want to know, how are you? How are you talking to Rob? Because, I mean, at least when we were talking to him, he was saying that his calls were limited and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, Arline Jr., yeah, he talked. He normally talks to first name of I-2. You know, first name of I-2. Jane Doe, yeah. Arline Jr., yeah, so normally he talks to first name of I-2. Excuse me. He has called me on a like a three-way call. I don't know what number has for him. But he normally calls me on three-way calls. Before he went to jail, he wanted me to get in contact with first name of I-1. So I got in contact with first name of I-1. Me and first name of I-1 go to school together. What? So Jane Doe put, right. Yeah, I remember him telling me that. That's the only time I remember him ever mentioning you. But he told me, like, that something different, that nickname I-1 was getting in touch with you. So Arline put, okay, yeah, I don't know what the hell he be having going on. The stories on his lies or what the hell he got going on. I just know he got some issues. I love him, but he got to fix the issues. And when I talked to him about you personally, he said, "Can you see if you can get in contact with Bear and fix it for me with first name of I1?" So I reached out to on Instagram first. So so Jane Doe said, "So when did he call you to fix it? Like, did he? Did you? Did he email you? Because around January, when you reached out to me, we were just emailing each other. So how did you reach out? So how did he reach out to you? He called you like from MCC, and she already caught him in a lie." Arline Jr. said, trying to exactly remember how the hell did it work out. Because I remember that it was a little bit after his birthday or something I had talked to him. Jane Doe said, right. Arline Jr. said, yeah. So that was around that time. Then he ended up talking again and he was like, can you see what's going on with Bear? And can you keep this between you and first name of I1? But he always never really wanted to mention the names over the phone. Jane Doe, right. Jane Doe put right. Arline Jr. said, so I really didn't know who the hell, I really didn't know who Bear was because first name of I1 told me. So the investigator said, based on my participation in the investigation, there's probable cause to believe that in this telephone call, Online Jr. explained that Kelly and I2 maintained contact with each other while Kelly was in jail. That on or around Kelly's birthday, January the 8th, 2020, I2 called Online Jr. while I2 and Kelly were speaking, and they discussed Jane Doe. Bear is a nickname used by Kelly for Jane Doe. As set forth below, during one of the telephone calls described in paragraph 9, Arline Jr. also made clear to Jane Doe why Kelly would pay for her silence. What? Which he stated he learned from I2 and another individual whose identity is known to the government, I3. Arline Jr. So, but like I'm saying, I don't want nothing. I tell you to go past with me and you cause I see you do your YouTube. What? Jane Doe put UI. Arlene Jr., I see you do your YouTube shit and I ain't trying to be a part of that type of shit. I just want to be part of. Jane Doe said, well, if this is to go through, like none of that would even happen. None of that would even matter. That would be irrelevant. It wouldn't even happen anymore. I just need to figure out, like, I'm just trying to figure out how do you even know that this is something that Rob even wants anymore? That's all I'm trying, because that was in January. Arlene put he definitely want. From what first name of I4 told me and from what I'm hearing from other motherfuckers, first name of I2, have you ever heard of first name of I3? Jane Doe, redacted. So whatever she said, it was redacted. Arline Jr. said no. First name of I3, one of his homies. First name of I3. Jane Doe put no. Arline Jr. said, okay, first name of I2 and first name of I3. Remember his homies. First name of I4, the lawyer. Jane Doe sounds very familiar, actually. Arlene Jr. said, right. So basically, with them, they're telling me that they claim you got some shit. I don't know what the fuck you might got. Some videos or some iPads or whatever you might got, your story. They just want it. They just want that to disappear. You know what I'm saying? She said, yeah. Arlene Jr. said, I don't really, like I said, I really don't know what you got. but they asked me to do something on blank. I really don't got no contact with you. I hit you on IG. I hollered at you. I hollered at first name of I one time about it, and she ain't really say nothing. I faded away from it. So the investigator said, based on my participation in this investigation, there is probable cause to believe that I4 is an attorney who has represented Kelly, but has not represented Kelly in United States versus Kelly criminal docket. Well, I be damned. I be damned. All the crooks aligned together. I'm just going to say this. Could that be the personal lawyer that everybody been talking about that they talk to in secrecy? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Sometimes I wonder why the hell people do what they do. But currently pending in the Eastern District of New York, or the federal case currently pending in the Northern District of Illinois. A review of records for R-Line 7687 telephone shows that R-Line Jr. called a telephone number listed on I4's website on 3 occasions. Wait a minute. A review of records for R-Line 7687 telephone shows that R-Line Jr. called a telephone number listed on I4's website on 3 occasions. The only other website that's up there is Yo. Oh. So that's why they came at me so hard. Okay. So if I4 is the personal lawyer, as they claim, that nobody wanted to say his name, and he got a website that's up, the only website he got up is the rkelly.org. Okay. It's getting interesting by the time. March the 30th, 2020, March the 8th, 2020, and May the 18th, 2020, based on my participation in the investigation, there is probable cause to believe that when R-Line Jr. said they claim you got some shit, some videos or some iPads, and your story, they just want that to disappear, he meant that I2, I3, and or I4 told him that Jane Doe had access to electronic evidence that could be used against Kelly, and that they wanted Jane Doe to not tell her version of events regarding her relationship with Kelly, i.e. her story. There is further probable cause to believe that when R-Line Jr. said they asked me to do something, he meant that I2 and I3 asked R-Line Jr. to contact Jane Doe, and that when R-Line Jr. said, I hit you on IG and I hollered at I1 one time about it, and she ain't really say nothing, I faded away from it. He was describing the steps he took to put into action the scheme to bribe Jane Doe. Well, I'm going to say this. I2 don't rock like that. I know who I2 is personally, and I2 don't rock like that. Specifically, Arlene Jr. referenced the time when he contacted Jane Doe by sending a message to Jane Doe's Instagram account on January the 9th, 2020, and explained that he had asked I1 to get in contact with Jane Doe. But when I1 did not, he did not take it any further action until now. Thereafter, at the direction of law enforcement, Jane Doe continued to communicate with Arlene Jr. over the Arlene 7687 telephone. Damn, I wish I would have saved that in the phone that he was calling. Fuck. and with I-1 regarding payments by Arlene Jr. to Jane Doe. At 1:01 a.m. on May the 27th, 2020, Jane Doe sent a text message via iMessage to the Arlene 7687 telephone that read, Jane Doe's Cash App account. I'm going to bed. Today has been a long day. Talk to you later. Arlene Jr. responded by iMessage using the Arlene 7687 telephone. Okay, good night. On May the 27th, 2020, at 12:03 p.m., Arlene Jr., using the Arlene 7687 telephone, sent a text message via iMessage to Jane Doe stating, Good morning. Yeah, first name I2, said Rob don't have that to give. Hold on, what? On May the 27th, 2020, at 12:03 p.m., Arlene Jr., using the Arlene 7687 telephone, sent a text message via iMessage to Jane Doe stating, Good morning. Yeah. Blank said Rob don't have that to give. Guess who's going to take his chances? Guess he's going to take his chances. If you ever need an opportunity, let me know. Later that day, Jane Doe sent a text message via iMessage to I1 that said, I feel like he was emoji with a long nose. How he say Rob had all this money and then today nothing. Second emoji. Initially, at 6:10 p.m., 2 minutes after I1 apparently read Jane Doe's earlier text message, I1 said, in part, like I said, you and I both knew Rob was low on funds. And again, Rich hasn't spoke with Rob since January, so I don't know blank. A little over 3 hours later, at 9:32 p.m., I1 wrote in part to Jane Doe, so Rich just told me Rob will give 300,000. Jane Doe answered in two separate text messages via iMessage in part, did Rob speak to Rich? Did Rob speak to Rich? Because he literally just said first name of blank of I2, said he didn't have money to give and would take his chances, emoji. And that just doesn't make sense. Did one of them talk to Rob? On May 29th, 2020, this is a lot. At 12:40 p.m., Arline Jr., using the Arline 7687 telephone, sent a text message via iMessage to Jane Doe that read, I'm in Florida. Significantly, Jane Doe resides in Florida. At the direction of law enforcement agents, Jane Doe thereafter called the Arline 7687 telephone, which call was consensually recorded. During the call, Arline Jr. told Jane Doe that he was in Miami. Their call was then cut off. At 7:35 p.m., Arline Jr., using the Arline 7687 telephone, sent text messages via iMessage to Jane Doe that read, I thought she told you I was coming out here. I would have bumped into you and holler at you. And yeah, also told him or her I was vacationing in Miami and we could have talked about everything. Based on my training, experience, and participation in the investigation, I believe that in these texts, Arline Jr. was referring to his belief that I1 had told Jane Doe that he was traveling to Florida. I thought he or she told you I was coming out here, and his interest in seeing Jane Doe in person, I would have bumped into you and holler at you. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for a second. This mucus buildup is crazy. Whew. Gotta get back to the folks. We gotta finish this. On June 3rd, 2020, the Honorable P. Kevin Castell, United States District Judge for Southern District of New York, authorized the interception of wire and electronic communication occurring to and from the R-Line 7687 telephone for a period of 30 days. Hereinafter, the R-Line wiretap. Wow. That nigga got caught on a wire. Monitoring the R-Line 7687 telephone began on June the 4th, 2020. The R-Line wiretap did not capture FaceTime calls over the R-Line 7687 telephone or iMessages sent or received by the R-Line 7687 telephone. On June 10th, 2020, at 7:51 p.m., Jane Doe, at the direction of law enforcement, sent a text message via iMessage to R-Line Jr. on the R-Line 7687 telephone, which read, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a minute. We still good." R-Line Jr. answered, "Yeah, we good. How you doing?" And Jane Doe responded, "Haven't heard from you, so I don't know where we stand." These iMessages were not intercepted over the wire, but Jane Doe provided copies of these messages to law enforcement. Wow. Hey, on June the 10th, 2020, at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, number 192, R-Line Jr. called I-5, an individual who has posted a series of interviews on his YouTube channel that were favorable to Kelly, including, among others, an interview of I-2. At the beginning of the call, after R-Line Jr. said, "I ain't heard from you in a minute," I-5 responded, "Oh, man, yeah. You know, I had done talked to first name of I-3. He said he gonna hit you up, and I know you is been in contact with first name of I-4. Wow. I only know certain people that talk like that. Ooh, it's coming out, baby. It's coming out who talked to who. It's coming out. It's coming out who talked to who. It's coming out, baby. Who talked to who? R-Line Jr. then said, "How would you know? How would you feel? Wait a minute. How would you know? How would you feel? How would you feel if I told you I might be able to get you first name Jane Doe?" A minute later, R-Line Jr. received an incoming telephone call from Jane Doe, described in the following paragraph, and told I-5 that he would call him later. I-5 said, "A right, call me right back. Call me right back." Woo. Okay. At 8:09 Eastern Standard Time, number 193, at the direction of law enforcement, Jane Doe called R-Line Jr. on an R-Line 7687 telephone. At the beginning of the call, apparently in reference to Jane Doe's iMessage, R-Line Jr. said, Now what you mean by what? How we stand?" Because last time I heard from anybody was first name I-1. She was like, what's the most you think he will give me? Whatever. Like, then I was like, maybe 300. And she said she or he was going to holler at you. And I never heard nothing else from either one of y'all. So I really don't know what's going on. Yeah. She or he just asking, like, what's the most he probably would give her? Why my phone keep cutting off? I don't understand this. Like, yeah, what's the most that he would give her? And I told him or her that he said what she would, what they say, and he said he was gonna get back with you. So ain't nobody ever get with me. Maybe the price was so low, she or he said might purchase a house. And then she'll blank. And I definitely told him or her that he got about 300 to give. Jane Doe explained that I1 had not relayed anything to her. She then asked, so have you talked to first name I2 or anybody? And Arlene answered, yeah, I was just on the phone with him like about 8 this morning. They then had the following exchange. Jane Doe. Okay, well, the 300 is okay. So I just need to know how we going to like go about it. Arline Jr. said, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll call him, call blank, and tell him that she said it's cool. Like I said, it was. That was like shit near 2 weeks ago when first name of I1 hit me, and she or he was like, what's the most? And I told him or her that shit. I don't know why she or he ain't get back with me. Like, that's what I asked him or her to do 2 weeks ago. But Jane Doe put, but what did first name of I2 say? Arline put, oh, I talked to first name of I2. I talked to first name of I2 from blank day about some different things. At the end of the telephone conversation, Jane Doe asked Arline Jr. for a 3-way telephone call between Jane Doe, Arline Jr., and I2. Arline Jr. answered, I'll set it up. Number 23. After Arline Jr. concluded the phone conversation with Jane Doe at 8:17 p.m., Arline Jr. called I5. When I5 asked what she trying to do, Arline Jr. answered, she trying to get money. I5 answered, I know how to do that. Arline Jr. then said, her ass, man, she thinking Rob gonna pay her to be quiet. Like, man, that shit ain't finna happen. Trying to get first name of Eyeline 2 on the phone, see what he wanna do. Cause in a minute, I'ma tell her ass, man, fuck it. Cause I might holler at first name of Eyeline 4. First name of I4, and first name of I4 was like, nah, he ain't trying to pay nobody else. But the old Rob, the Rob I know, like first name of I4, don't speak blank lawyer. Rob, if I had talked to Rob on the phone and Rob got the money, he gonna pay first name of Jane Doe to be quiet. What? Like if I had a way to talk to Rob, being next to him and telling him what's going on without nobody listening to no feds, nobody. He gonna pay her ass off to be quiet. She got too much. What? So now this explains why they kept during the conversation. Let me see how much more I got. Let me see. 3 more pages. Okay. 3 more pages. Let's go. During the conversation, I5 mentioned that Jane Doe might be in cahoots with the FBI and questioned whether a financial settlement with Jane Doe for her silence would even help Kelly at this point, explaining that several of the victims named in indictments against Kelly had previously received settlements from Kelly and suggesting that Jane Doe could not damage Kelly too much. After Arline Jr. and I5 ended their telephone call, Arline Jr. sent a text message. The hell? Arline Jr. sent a text message via iMessage to Jane Doe that read, he got a new spokesman, said Rob not willing to pay you, but was instructed to help you make money in a major way. Based on my participation in this investigation, there's probable cause to believe that he referred to Kelly like the prior messages. This iMessage was not intercepted on the R-Line wiretap, but was provided to law enforcement by Jane Doe. Wow. At 9:12 p.m. Eastern, Jane Doe again, at the direction of law enforcement, called R-Line Jr. and told him she was confused. R-Line Jr. responded, yeah, so shit. All I know is I just seen some shit like that. Just blew my mind. So shit, I just called first name of I too. Like I told you, I ain't really been talking to him about y'all since we talked, which was about 2 weeks ago. So I just called him right now. He like, man, holla at I-5. I'm like, why I need to holla at I-5 for? He like, man, I-5 doing everything from now on. He's speaking for Rob. He talking to Rob. And I'm like, I'm thinking he bullshitting. He like, man, go check out the video. So I go check out the video. First name of I2 on the first name of I2 having a live interview with I-5. And like basically Rob is talking to this dude named I-5 now. During the conversation, Jane Doe asks, so whose idea was it to pay this $300? And Arlene Jr. said no. So when first name of I-1 called me, he or she said, what's the most? I said, hold on. I told first name of I-2, like shit. It'll probably be somewhere in the 300s looking at how much money this nigga got. So when I got, so I went back and told first name I-1 300. That was 2 weeks ago. Audio glitch. She never responded to me. When Jane Doe asks, and now I-5 is, and so that means I-5 just came in play about 2 weeks ago. Arlene Jr. answered, man, probably I think probably about a week ago or so, when he been putting this shit in place. Where he doing all the talking for him and shit. Because he told me, because I talked to first name of I-4 as well, I tried to holler at first name of I-4 about the money situation too. And he or she was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And I was like, why? And she or he said I-5 name too. She or he is like, she or he be on some old other shit though. So that's like when I first talked to him or her, I hollered at him or her and first name of I-2 to see where they was at with the shit. And that's when we all started talking. But she or he knocked it down right away. But first name I-2 was like, yeah, you probably could try to work it out. Based on my participation in the investigation, there is probable cause to believe that in the 2 weeks between when Arline Jr. and first communicated with Jane Doe and suggested that Kelly would pay $300,000 for her silence, and the time of this June 10th, 2020 telephone call, the situation may have changed, including by putting I-5 as opposed to I-2 in charge of the strategy for Kelly. And that I-5 may be less inclined to participate in a direct payoff of Jane Doe. At 9:27 p.m., Arline Jr. called I-5 and told I-5 that Jane Doe wanted to have a three-way telephone call with Arline Jr. and I-5 agreed. The three-way call finally took place at 9:45 p.m., number 207. During that telephone conversation, Arline Jr. clarified in substance that after Jane Doe initially requested a $2 million settlement, wow, a $2 million settlement. All-Line Jr. contacted I2 and I3, referring to each by their first names, and they said in substance that Kelly could not afford a $2 million settlement. All-Line Jr. explained that the $300,000 settlement came about when I1 called him and asked how much, and that I3 then called I2, who suggested $300,000. What? I5 then told Jane Doe that I5 would contact I2 to find out exactly what I2 meant and mentioned that I3 had called I5 2 weeks ago and told I5 about the situation. Following that telephone call, All-Line Jr. and I5 spoke again at 10:11 p.m., number 209, and I5 suggested that Jane Doe was a loose cannon. On Friday, June 11, 2020, All-Line Jr. traveled from Chicago to Houston, Texas to celebrate his wife's birthday. Oh, during that trip, on June 12, 2020, at 11:36 p.m., at the direction of law enforcement, Jane Doe called All-Line Jr. and told him, let's just go with the settlement. I don't know if I5 got back to you. All-Line Jr. ended the telephone call by telling Jane Doe, let me see what's going on. I have an answer in the morning for the about the money. On June 14th, 2020, All-Line Jr. called I3, but the telephone call went to voicemail. Excuse me. I3 twice tried to return All-Line Jr.'s call, but All-Line Jr. did not pick up the calls. On June 15th, 2020, at 10:45 a.m., All-Line Jr. and I3 finally connected. During the call, I3, come on, man. During the call, I3 said, I talked to I5. He said, you would hit him up. And All-Line Jr. said, oh, yeah, I talked to him a little bit. All-Line Jr. explained that Jane Doe wanted money to be quiet. All-Line Jr. explained that I5 said it would be futile to pay her because Jane Doe probably would not end up cooperating with law enforcement. At the end of the call, All-Line Jr., who was still in Houston, said that he would hit I3 when he got back around, i.e., when he returned to Chicago. 28. To date, Jane Doe has not received any money from the defendant, Richard All-Line Jr., and it remains unclear whether Kelly, I2, I3, and I4 implicitly, or explicitly authorized All-Line Jr. to negotiate a bribe payment on behalf of Kelly. As described above, there is probably cause to believe that All-Line Jr. in fact sought to coordinate a bribe payment to Jane Doe in exchange for her agreement to cease her cooperation with federal law enforcement regarding the case against Kelly pending in the Eastern District of New York. Because public filing of this document could result in a risk of flight by the defendant. What? As well as jeopardize the government's investigation. Your deponent respectfully requests that the complaint and arrest warrant be filed under seal. Wherefore, your deponent respectfully requests that the defendant, Richard All-Line Jr., be dealt with accordingly to law. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. Here's my question. Y'all been waiting patiently. What do y'all think about that? That's what I want to know. Call in 470-355-8221. What do y'all think about that? Call in, because we got one more to go. And we might have another one tonight. 115 code 4. What do y'all think? I mean, call in 470-355-8221. Charlotte, I agree. They ain't too smart. Georgia girl, I agree. This TS too much. EJ said this some freaky shit. Dana J Live, that's a lot of reading. Hey, I'm built for this. But I just let y'all know that I'm not remedial. They tried to use Rob name and bribing at exactly just, and it all fell on Rob. And Rob don't know two shits of what's going on. And neither do I too. I will say that. But everybody call in 470-355-8221. They all try to use Rob's name to bribe her and to take money from him. This shit is crazy. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It was a lot to follow to. Yeah, it was, Ashley. It was. So do anybody want to call in? Because as y'all see behind me, I got a whole nother one. So do anybody want to call in? I mean, let's not be bored. I want to hear what y'all think. Right, Sweet Pea? You're live with Dana J. How can I help you?
Not a guy, bro.
Huh?
I said it's not a guy, man.
Oh, I know who it is.
I'm over here smiling and chopping, bro, because this is the path that I've been on for the longest. About them fools right there. You know what I'm saying? That's why people got to understand this. What's going on with Rob is way bigger than these females, man. There's some people that did things that don't trying to keep it from coming out, and they know the more and more distraction they cause on the outside will keep people from looking at what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? It's keeping Rob inside, and it's causing distraction. But at the same time, what they doing is drawing more attention to what's really going on.
Right.
And the more and more people start to see it, the more and more people gonna realize these girls was just a diversion.
Yep.
The real problem is those people that was around him. You know, these other people that just pop up out the blue for no reason, all of a sudden they so uncle this, uncle that, kills this, kills that. These people were put there by somebody.
Mm-hmm. And watch this. Have you noticed Dana J name ain't come up in shit?
Because, I mean, what have you, it's only right, man, because if you was moving wrong, these people are some private investigators to you. Like you said earlier, they did so much bullshit towards you and Levi till they ain't got the attorney, no records, bank account records being pulled because of their bullshit.
Yep.
PhD, the dumb dickheads, whatever the fuck they call themselves over there. But this dude, Con Russell, he been the fucking man pulling the strings from day one. From day one. He been orchestrating all this outside commotion. All this back and forth. It's been him, man. He paid these people to do and say the shit that they say. And then they try to, Uncle Rob, I was me before this. No, you wasn't. You got employed, man. That's how you became somebody. But now you got what you really want. You finna go do that time, man. I tell them, don't drop the soap.
You're right.
Man, keep reading the indictments, man. I'm listening, bro.
Well, I got one more to go.
Man, I'm listening because like you've been saying, like Levi been saying, man, I remember back around about February, man, said that this dude's gonna be going to jail. He do it. You called his mama out with that fake ass notary. You called all this shit out long time ago, bro.
And seeing it's crazy because, like Levi said earlier, but he wanted me just to squash it and with Don Russell. And me and Levi got into an on-block bender show. And I told Levi, shit, there's no way. He done too much. And Levi was like, Dana, how you know? I said, he done too much.
Man, if everybody was listening when that dude first came on the internet, when he said that he sucked that letter, he said it. I'm the one who sent that letter to New York.
Right.
With Faye Ross. He said it. I don't see how nobody else heard it.
Because they so much on a I hate Dana J train to the point where they missing when people are telling them in their face what they did and didn't do.
Man, he said that. He said that shit about his mama supposed to be cleared, Rob. Taxes, and that was a bullshit lie. All the shit that he said was a lie. You brung out about the
Gucci.
Remember the check being sent to the one person, whatever. You said, oh, this person, you connected the dots with that person. I heard that bank, that company, that name, that check was sent to in the first indictment you were earlier. All this shit is coming back to the con, man.
Right.
Man, the laws of the universe will always prevail, bro. I don't care who the fuck you is. You put it out there, it's gonna come back. That's just it.
Right.
But see, people, Kale's lawyers ain't doing this. Kale's lawyers ain't doing this. They ain't gotta do nothing. Because you motherfuckers doing all the work for them.
Man.
Doing all the work for the defense. You doing all the work for everybody. See, the good thing about this, I thank God it's not a good thing and it's not a bad thing that Rob been locked up. All this shit they talking about is 2020. This man ain't even been here. He ain't been out. All his calls is being monitored. So y'all know that he's not orchestrating this shit on the outside of these walls.
Total facts. Total facts. You ain't never lied about that. Total facts.
So they gotta find some time proving it. I hope they had enough lunch meat to say who gonna say what, who gonna go down to take the lead. They have talked the fall guy or the fall lady, whoever they want to be. But from day one, bro, when you came on Phases, you did the interview with Don Russell came on there. He got man, fuck that thing, all this. You was calling them out then. But everybody done. You like, bro, I know you fuck with Don.
I said it. I told him that.
Done. They so happy to get Don Russell, but they was made before you, right? But they so happy to get Don a fucking lying ton, man. Oh, we 30 years, man, go with that bullshit. This man been throwing diversions since he came around, man. Oh, I'm not gonna only talk to certain people. I'm gonna only do interviews with certain people. But then you go click up with 3 remedial motherfuckers with helmets on.
He said 3 remedial motherfuckers with helmets on. Hey, Vi, you been talking to me too long. Stop stealing my shit, man.
I mean, these motherfuckers don't even have bus stops, man. They get picked up at their house, bro. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous, man. They can't cover your tracks. You see the shit you was reading earlier? He making fake email account. How the fuck you gonna make a fake Gmail or email account, but you still put your personal email information in there as a backup? You so motherfucking dumb. You can't get out your own way.
Right. Nah, Nick, can't nobody get back on my nuts now. Once you gone, you gone. I don't want no return, folks. I don't want no new friends.
Nah, all that shit dead. They ain't had the patience to stick around when the goddamn storm came. They don't even come around when the storm over.
Right. Charlotte said, "Bye, my man. What up, bro?"
What it do? I ain't on here listening to Dana break these fools down like a tree limb. That's it. Man. That's crazy. When you got the opposition calling you dumb too, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's weird. Anytime you got the other folks calling you dumb, man, that's a stupid man. Look, Like I say, I'm hydroplaning past motherfuckers, man. I don't care.
Man, Dave, you better not come down out that sky, bro.
Nah, hell no.
You got unlimited miles right now, man. Keep flying. Keep flying, bro. You put in the work. I remember when you wanted to give up, you wanted to quit, but guess what? You kept on pushing through that shit. Only the strong survive, bro. This ain't no ordinary fight right here. And you've been a true fighter for the real reason. That's why your name ain't coming up in these indictments. They wanted to get you indicted, but when the people came, they looked, there wasn't nothing to indict.
Right. Right.
The truth gonna stand on its own. A lie need to be built.
Right.
The truth gonna stand on its own, regardless.
And just said that's why Don was trying to get that music out of the country. That's true.
Yeah, he did a lot of illegal shit. See, now, no, Greenberg them finna fuck him up so bad to his. I mean, he got so many charges and shit that's going on with him, man. This motherfucker, and yesterday what I wanted to say when the government, like, you know, it's kind of off top, but when they put out their rebuttal, whatever they put out, you know, that plea deal shit, you know what I'm saying, that the other side talking about, they trying to make the shit sound all scary. 50 witnesses. Come on, man. The fuck you got 50 witnesses? Do you really want people to believe y'all got 50 witnesses, man?
Right.
Like, come on, man. Some shit that don't make sense. Now, you say you got 2 or 3 witnesses, that's more believable. But 50?
Right.
They got a handful of victims.
Right. Princess Diana said,
accusers, rather.
Right. Princess Diana said at Dana, why was Don so comfortable coming to Debo house with his kid for an interview on his live? Hold on. Let me take this call, Vi.
Go ahead.
All right. You're live on the Dana J Show. How can I help you?
Dana. What's up, bro?
Hey, hold on. Princess Diana said at Dana, why was Don so comfortable coming to Debo house? I mean, his job with his kid for an interview on his live, and I want to know who is I2, I3, and I4. I can't disclose that right now.
Yeah, I2 didn't know nothing about that. They just pulled I2 in that shit. Like, this shit crazy. They really
we all know that I2 don't know what the fuck going on
at all. So, but my whole thing is, I was laughing at the caller that this was on there because he said he was so stupid. You made up all these accounts, but you still leaked your information. You stupid.
Right.
Don Russell, like, you was an asshole, and all he did was he used all these people to cover up the schemes that they've been scheming for years. So by them doing all this, all the truth is going to come out, and Rob will be out, period, because he didn't know nothing about none of this. He didn't know that y'all was scheming the whole time. He didn't know none of this, and then y'all thought y'all was dragging these girls, and they were just bait.
So you know what? Because a lot of people don't know who you are, but I know exactly who you are. I got a question. Could that be the reason why I want to say I4 contacted Don Russell to come back in?
I'm thinking so too now. But remember that day I told you that Jeff I was all on my called me that day. Remember I said, don't fucking call me.
Right.
How the fuck he get my number? So that's why I said I too don't know nothing, and I just think that it was just because when this do come out, it's gonna be like, oh, people was playing along to act like they was stupid, because I could see the way they saying that they got the approval from the judge for the wiretap.
Right.
He was already investigating him for 30 days.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is they was going to try to get the money, act like they were going to give it to her, and they was going to run off with the bread. And do you remember when Don Russell came on Trent? What was it, Trent Live or one of their lives? And he was like, he forced them, first of all. And I hope y'all hear me. He forced y'all to write that judge, and I hope y'all know that's coming for y'all asses too, because y'all said on the live, oh yeah, we gonna write it, we attacking her, we gonna dummies. And then when he said that he was going to send the music out there to, out the country.
Right.
They already had a plan, but they was using the mediocre motherfuckers who ain't even nobodies, and y'all just got pulled in some dumb shit.
So
that's why that day when Jet Fly called you live and was like, oh, damn it, you might as well just get down with us. That's when they was getting ready to try to pry that money over. And they always going to split that money up.
And see, and that's when Jet Fly was like him Bedbug and Don Russell was going to split it 3 ways.
Right.
What he said was they was going to split it 4 ways, trying to include me if I just shut up.
And let me say this. All of a sudden, the Raleigh pops up. Oh, we doing a Raleigh now. That was Don Russell probably too. Probably, yeah, do a Raleigh, you know, to get this stuff.
Do a rally, but I had people come and support you to separate. Right. And because y'all can't get them nowhere else.
One day, you smart, baby, and then the Kelly for Justice popped up. And I hope I've been saying that. We already investigated that Cash App to the Kelly for Justice. That's from Don Russell too, fake ass sisters. Y'all that.
Man, like I say, they playing penitentiary games now, but I ain't going.
So funny though, he ain't gonna do that time, Dana.
Oh, we already know.
About to whistle like a motherfucker.
We already know, and the thing is,
things going on.
Rob just gonna sit back and watch and see exactly who the snakes are, and then gonna say, oh. But I will say, I-4 is what's gonna hurt him. I-4 is gonna hurt him.
I-4 is gonna hurt only because it's like y'all, and it's so crazy. All this for money,
and it's like Rob really looked at him as a friend.
Like y'all, and then the whole thing. My thing is y'all so stupid. Even when Rob said that he knew that Jane Doe was a part of the case and all that, but she still was coming back and forth to see him and all that. Y'all was going to reach out to this girl. Who the fuck are y'all? Disrespectful.
Well,
y'all are very disrespectful.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Y'all do all this internet shit, but y'all won't pop none of that shit on these streets. Believe me when I tell you.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Big Sis, because I know where you about to go with this, and I don't want you going that route.
I ain't gonna go too far because I know the whole thing. I got 6 people watching it live. You already know that,
right?
And they're in the bushes. But at the same time, we just sitting back, like watching everything unfold. Like, and even when all this shit went down, y'all had no right on that. None of them Jane Does. Period.
And the thing that gets me is that the people on this side, it was a certain person talking about, I can mentor Azriel. That's what I do. And I'm going to try to mentor her. Why would you even reach out to her anyway?
And she used all them dumb, like, I ain't gonna lie, the little girl ain't that stupid. She's smart. She baited all them motherfuckers. Y'all can't read what Dana's saying on the thing. It says Jane Doe reported to Homeland Security. Dummies.
Man,
you gonna harass a girl and tell her you gonna hurt her and everything else, and then try to work with her and give her money. Y'all so stupid.
And
I hope you know Don Russell gonna sing it. Even when he used your lives, he used that to push the information. Dummies. They all on live earlier talking about, oh no, that they still taking up for Don Russell. Oh, Don Russell got a whole lot of information on a lot of people and all this. Y'all so dumb. Y'all don't even know him. Y'all don't even know Chicago, and that's the whole thing. All y'all want to be big draws and try to get in this fight. Now I want to see who really go down.
This is crazy, because see, I wasn't gonna put it out there who was what.
No, don't put the don't.
Nah, I need somebody to go. Shit.
Don't they not?
Hold on, nah, because somebody done put it out there already, and I'm.
They put it out in the chat?
Yeah. Hold on. Fuck. I need to get to this person ASAP.
And then all the trolls is watching motherfuckers that know the I choose. Y'all know. Motherfuckers know. And this is the and then I ain't gonna lie, you know, like I said, even with Team Truth, we don't get along because they have one perspective about Rob, we have another. But when it comes to disrespect and morals and all that, like Larry don't bring that to me. You understand what I'm saying? I would never disrespect that man, his children, none of that. Just because we have 2 different opinions don't mean anything. But I'm pretty sure that he goes with what's right and he goes with what's wrong. But right now he's being painted a picture that he's just going off, but everybody, oh yeah, threaten him. Do this. Y'all stupid as shit, because 9 times out of 2020, people ain't gonna just let you come and disrespect their family, their kids, none of that. They gonna tell. And y'all got wiretapped. Y'all some stupid asses. Like, and then you think the part where they said I-2 was in Houston. Come on, Dana, you smart. You went to Houston, then went back to Chicago. Like, y'all is stupid. Hey.
Went to Houston and then went back to Chicago. I mean, I won.
Man, but everybody want to act like dead bugs don't know what's going on. Yeah, y'all think that if y'all want to. Y'all heard what the thing said. Houston, then back to Chicago. All of a sudden, he got an apartment out there and all that. Pay attention, people, please. Oh yeah, you ain't hear about the new the new sub over there. I ain't gonna air her name, but she the one who got the $1 million settlement, and that's why Bedbug getting all this money. She was the one that was there the day that Don Russell came on the live. She was the one in the chat. We were just talking about that the other day, me and Sharon.
Wow.
So I hope she know that they about to run down on her too, because it's called conspiracy. Dummies. Motherfuckers so stupid. They think they smart, but they dumb as shit. They wrote it in the chat. I can't see the chat. Huh? He might have a phone. I can't see the chat.
No, Nikki. No. Everybody just saying wow.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Everybody just said wow.
But it's going to come out. Certain people didn't know what was going on. They were just playing along with it. So that's definitely going to come out. I4 did not know what was going on. I1 and I2 definitely did.
Well,
we heard about I2. Man.
Well, I1 did.
I think I2 did a little bit.
I2 didn't, but I1 did.
No, I said I1 definitely did.
Right.
That's the one that Rob want to be heard about.
Right, but I1 is on some other shit.
But even remember when he went live on Trent Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, when the sisters came out with the website, that was like
when the who?
After that, when the sisters came out with Kelly for Justice. Remember when I told you that's connected to this cash app under the Rancher? I don't got my papers on me because I'm saying.
Oh, the Nitra?
Yeah.
Here's my question. Because at first I thought the Nitra was one person, but then when I started watching the movements, it couldn't have been that person.
That's what I'm saying.
Because that person just had a baby.
I'm thinking they behind the screen using people's screen names. That's how they call themselves doing that.
So I wonder the Nitra Pearsall, why all of a sudden when these joints drop, huh?
She blocked me too.
Nah, but when all these joints drop, it's like her accounts. It's like she blocked me off of everything.
That's why I said it's somebody else behind it. It's not. I don't think it's that person. I went to Twitter earlier.
Call me offline after this. I'll tell you who I think it is.
Get off live. All right.
All right.
It's Lady T. I got your message too. All right.
All right. Whew. There's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Sean said, what the hell is going on? It's a lot, man. There's a lot. And I'm going to tell y'all now, this last indictment going to tell a lot. It's going to tell a lot. Kevin! We love you over here, man. What's wrong? Your stomach bubbling? Because they got the audio and a video of when you did this. Yeah, what up, Rich? Yeah, oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right, I call him now. Woo! So, Kevin, you helped them track that man down. AR Rich, you did it, Kevin. When you picked up the phone and he said, "Yo, Don Russell got some work for you, bro," you said, "All right, I call him. I call him. I'm calling." Man. And remember what you said? Azrael. Remember you kept saying that? And remember this conversation, Kevin? Yo, Rob called and said, leave all the victims alone, and especially Azriel. And you said, shit, Dana J said that Rob called him and said to leave Azriel alone. Shit, you tell Dana J, you tell Rob to call me and tell me. Remember that conversation? And you thought it was all funny, and you put it up on Twitter. And that's when me and you was cool. That's when I made in my mind then, I'm not going to fuck with you. So I just played it along. And the reason why I played it along, because now I'm going to tell you the whole game, brother. The reason why I played along with it, and everybody was saying, Dana, can't you see he taking shots at you? And I ignored it. I played along with it because if I would have came at you then, the first thing everybody would have said, see, Dana J the one, but I was against Kevin the whole time. No, I needed the world to see it was you. The whole time. So once the world seen it, that's when the terrorists start separating from the weak. The real people said, Dana, we got you. And all them run along fake motherfuckers was like, we rocking with DJ. And remember when you called Doug Anton in the middle of the night and you text him and said, Dana J is in trouble, and he called you, and then when he called you, you tried to switch the live up to something else? I'll never forget none of that. And remember you called Jeff and said, Jeff, I need you to call Dana J. Let's squash it. Yo, God talking to me. No, that wasn't God talking to you. I'm just going to put it out there. You was going live in your car and the niggas gave you 15 days to get the fuck out of Chicago or they were going to blow your head off. So you went to Houston. Why? Because Sandra told you to come on. I wonder if Sandra know that y'all two are real close. I wonder if Sandra's husband know that y'all two are real close. Because ain't no woman going to drive a man around all around like that if it's not something else involved. I told you, I hold everybody's secrets. I just pick and choose if I want to release them. And then I'm going to go here. You had so many people fooled. Even when I was rocking with him too. D. Wilson. Dana J talked to Kevin Terrell here. Good guy. He did see that. He did see that. He did see that. Cool. So I seen you in a group chat. And I heard you talking about him. Who the fuck is Dana J? Who this and this? But then when I came and got on your live, your whole tune changed. And you know what happened? One of the bros called me and said, don't you ever get on his live again because you making him famous. He's a nobody. But I went against everybody's wishes. And I thought you was a good guy. That's why I allowed you to be a part of the rally. Other than that, I wasn't fucking with you. Thank you, Miss Jennings. Other than that, I wasn't fucking with you. So I didn't mind. If you came to the rally, I was going to come out to the after party and help you, do your thing. We were tired. Yes, we got there late. But guess what? The same motherfuckers that's in your ear rooting you on, Kevin. The same ones that your boy Daboski didn't want to be a part of. The same one that Trent didn't want to be a part of. Yeah, you know that one little group, them? They were the ones that didn't want to go. But I'm the one that said, no, that's not fair. So I'm glad all of y'all over there together in one snake pit. That way I can sleep easy. I can look at the ladies over here and trip. We can talk about entanglements. We can have fun and we can talk about entrapments. We can laugh, we can joke, and don't got to worry about uneducated and unnecessary underlying bullshit. I'm happy. For the first time in this R. Kelly fight, I can say I'm happy 100% with the crew I got. I can say that. But you the one that can't sleep at night. Because not only have they yet to name the people in the not the Rico, but the shit is another thing. Not only are they haven't released the names of that yet, but you still got to face them court joints of when you went in the courtroom video recording. You thought I forgot about that? No. Hell no. I called today and pushed that envelope. So either way, you're going to jail. If it's not by one, it's by the other. And I'm going to be at your trial watching in Chicago. Who knows? Maybe I can convince your kids to come see their father on trial. Oh, I keep forgetting that they don't fuck with you. You only got a relationship with the oldest one. Bill, that's what they say. I don't know. I don't know for facts, but that's what they say. I hope not, because she got a son, bro. But shit, it is what it is. Let's get into it. This the last one. And we on and trust me, we're in the fourth quarter. Here's a stretch. United States of America against Michael Williams. I'm going to skip past all of her introductory. Lord have mercy. Because she opened up and give you who she is. On or about June 11, 2020, within the Southern District of Florida, the defendant Michael Williams, together with others, did knowingly, intentionally, and maliciously damage and destroy by means of fire and an explosive a vehicle used in interstate and foreign commerce and in an activity used in interstate and foreign commerce. Title 18. United States Code Sections 844I, 2 and 3551. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Are you smarter than a fifth grader? And this is the public lynching of R. Kelly at his finest. So sad. So sad. Once again, thank you, Miss Jennings. I thank you so much. All right, here we go. The source of your opponent's information and the grounds for her belief are as follows. I'm a special agent, the U.S. Attorney's Office, let's go. On June 20th, 2019, a grand jury in the Eastern District of New York returned an indictment charging Kelly with racketeering involving predicate racketeering acts as to 5 different women and 4 Mann Act violations. On July the 10th, 2019, The grand jury, we already know about all that. On March the 12th, 2020, the grand jury returned a third superseding indictment. The indictment against Kelly, we know about that. There is probable cause to believe that as of June 11th, 2020, the defendant Michael Williams was aware of the federal investigation of Robert Kelly. On or about December the 20th, 2019, Williams accompanied an individual whose identity is known as the affiant I-1 to a voluntary interview with federal agents. Oh shit. Including the affiant, Williams himself was not interviewed and did not attend the interview with I-1. Moreover, in May 2020, Williams, using a Google account associated with one of Williams' Gmail addresses, viewed one or more articles about the federal charges that Kelly is currently facing. In or about January 2020, Jane Doe began cooperating with federal law enforcement. Several news outlets thereafter reported that Jane Doe was cooperating with federal law enforcement. Jane Doe's father, provided to law enforcement screenshots of text messages that he indicated were between the father and I-1. The text messages document Wait a minute. The text messages document a combative relationship between the father and I-1. Oh shit. And in several other messages, they accused the other of slandering him or her. Oh shit. The screenshots also include a text message purportedly from I-1 that warns the father, it might be wise for you to protect your daughter from heartache she's going to endure through this and after. She had to live with every stain you guys create publicly. Getting angry and lashing out on live, making threats, or having her drop videos, taking jobs, honestly doesn't look good. Wait a minute, I know who that is. And they said that, oh shit. It's just igniting an ignorant fight that should have never started to begin with. I know you don't care, but even media personalities and production who were rooting for nickname of Jane Doe are starting to say they view her different based on her actions and words. So even in the event of the truth you say is coming being exposed, it still won't have anything to do with how they view your daughter. Y'all might want to think about that, because right now you got her out here looking crazy, honestly. After this live, I need to talk to Randa Sylvia Sidbo, Levi. Randa Sylvia Sidbo Levi. After this live. Fuck. Based on my participation in the investigation, I know that Jane Doe has maintained a presence on social media, including on Instagram Live, and by posting videos on social media in which she publicly has discussed how Kelly physically and mentally abused her during their relationship. On June 11, 2020, at approximately 2:50 a.m. Eastern Time, a black SUV vehicle, which had been leased from Enterprise Rental Center, Enterprise, a commercial vehicle rental establishment, and which was parked outside of the residence in Florida where Jane Doe was staying. The residence was set on fire in an apparent arson. The vehicle sustained substantial damage as the result of the arson. Inside of the residence at the time of the arson were 4 adults and 2 minors. Oh shit. One of the adults reported to law enforcement in part and in substance that upon hearing an explosion, she or he ran outside of the residence and saw an individual fleeing from the scene of the fire, whose arm appeared to be lit on fire. Fire investigators also determined that the accelerant was present along some of all of the outside perimeter of the residence. A surveillance camera positioned at a residence along a street immediately parallel to the residence showed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed at approximately 2:53 a.m. While the footage is grainy, a detective with the New York City Auto Crime Division advised that the vehicle in the footage is consistent with a GMC Yukon. Y'all can't say it's me. Y'all know I don't drive trucks. But if you let the fools tell it, Dana J did it. He took it from the defense fund money. Dumbasses. The SUV was rented in Florida by the father of Jane Doe from Enterprise, a business that operates in interstate commerce and whose headquarters is located outside of Florida and New York. On June the 15th, 2020, the Honorable Raymond E. Reyes Jr., United States Magistrate Judge for the Eastern District of New York, authorized a search warrant to Google for users who had conducted a search of the address of the residence close in time to the arson. Among the individuals who searched the address was an individual using IP address and another IP address, the IP addresses. On June 10th, 2020, at 10:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, June 11th, 2020 at 12:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and June 11th, 2020 at 1:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The arson took place at approximately 2:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June the 11th, 2020. Verizon Wireless records show that the IP address at those particular times belonged to telephone number known to the affiant with a 786 area code and ending in 8432, which is subscribed to by Michael Williams at an address in Valdosta, Georgia. In Valdosta, Georgia. The Google records showed that the individual who conducted the search of the address of the residence used Google account ID, and they got the number, which listed Michael Williams as the name of the user of the account, MW03111983@gmail.com, as an email address for the account, and the 8432 telephone as the recovery SMS. Okay, Google, stop.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Stop. According to Google records, the MW03@gmail.com account was created on May the 27th, 2020. The defendant, Michael Williams, is a family member of I-1. I-1 once served as a publicist for Kelly. On June 11th, 2020, the Honorable Rowan L. Mann, United States Magistrate Judge for the Eastern District of New York, authorized a search warrant on various telephone companies that operated cell towers serving the residents. The results The results of that search warrant showed that among the telephone numbers that were served by those cell towers on June 11, 2020, between 2 a.m. and 3:30 a.m., was the 8432 telephone. On July the 3rd, 2020, the Honorable James Orenstein, United States Magistrate Judge for the Eastern District of New York, authorized a search warrant on Verizon Wireless for historical location information associated with the 8432 telephone. Verizon Wireless records show that the 8432 telephone traveled from the vicinity of Valdosta, Georgia, where the defendant Michael Williams reside, and where the 8432 telephone was on June the 10th, 2020 at 7:40 p.m. to the vicinity of Kissimmee, Florida, where the residence is located. To the vicinity of Lake City, Florida, where the 8432 telephone was on June 11, 2020 at 5:31 a.m. And finally, back to the vicinity of Valdosta, Georgia, where the 8432 telephone was on June 11, 2020 at 2:09 p.m. As detailed in this paragraph, there is probable cause. There's probable cause to believe that the defendant, Michael Williams, uses a second telephone number to the affiant, which excuse me, with a 229 area code and ended in 8231. The 8231 telephone, in addition to the 8432 telephone, and a second email address in addition to mw@gmail.com. Specifically, in or about 2015, the defendant, Michael Williams, submitted an application for a United States passport on which he listed his email address as mikewill437@gmail.com. Google records indicate that the 8231 telephone is listed as the recovery phone number for the mikewill437@gmail.com email account. The 8231 telephone is also subscribed to by Michael Williams. Moreover, a review of telephone records for the 8231 telephone shows regular communications between a telephone known to be used by I-1 and the 8231 telephone, including on June 11th, 2020 at 12:44 a.m., approximately 2 hours and 6 minutes before the above described arson, when I-1 placed a telephone call to the 8231 telephone, and the call lasted approximately 193 seconds. A 2003 GMC Yukon with Georgia license plate XMC 789 and vehicle identification number, got that, is registered to another individual, I-2, at the Valdosta residence. Law enforcement agents have conducted physical surveillance in the vicinity of the Valdosta, Georgia residence and have observed a white GMC Yukon, the Williams GMC Yukon, with no front license plate in a driveway next to the Valdosta residence as recently as August 3rd, 2020. Law enforcement agents were unable to view the back of the Williams GMC Yukon to observe the back license plate, but took photographs of the Williams GMC Yukon that depict distinct damage to the front and the side of the Williams GMC Yukon. Records from the Florida Department of Transportation, which include photographs, indicate that at approximately 1:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 11th, 2020, approximately an hour and 41 minutes before the arson described above, a GMC Yukon with no front license plate and with the same distinct damage to the front and side of the Williams GMC Yukon traveled southbound through the Leesburg Toll Plaza north exit ramp for US 27 on the Florida Turnpike. 2. At approximately 3:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 11, 2020, approximately 44 minutes after the arson described above, a GMC Yukon with no front license plate and with the same distinct damage to the front and side as the Williams GMC Yukon traveled northbound through the Western Beltway mainline toll plaza on the Florida Turnpike. And 3, at approximately 4:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 11, 2020, approximately 1 hour and 16 minutes after the arson described above, a GMC Yukon with no front license plate and with the same distinct damage to the front and side of the Williams GMC Yukon traveled northbound through the Leesburg Mainline Toll Plaza on the Florida Turnpike. Notably, the GMC Yukon that traveled through the tolls at approximately 1:09 a.m., 3:34 a.m., and 4:06 a.m. also appears to have had no visible rear license plate at the time based on 1. A review of photographs of the rear of the vehicle as it traveled through the tolls, and 2. The fact that the records indicate that the vehicle did not pay the tolls and was thus designated as a violator. Significantly, a license plate reader in Georgia captured the Williams GMC Yukon in Hahira, Georgia, on June 10, 2020 at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with its rear license plate clearly visible, strongly suggesting that Williams removed the real license plate before he traveled to the residence in an attempt to avoid detection by law enforcement. According to Google Maps, depending on the route taken, the Leesburg toll plazas are approximately 60.6 to 72.5 miles from the residence where the arson occurred. The Western Beltway mainline toll is approximately 26.8 to 31.4 miles from the residence where the arson occurred. The photograph of the front of the GMC Yukon that traveled through the Leesburg mainline toll plaza at approximately 4:06 a.m. shows what appears to be a male individual in the driver's seat. On July the 29th, 2020, the Honorable Robert M. Levy authorized a search warrant of the Google accounts associated with MikeWill@gmail.com and MW03@gmail.com, both of which, as described above, appear to be used and controlled by the defendant, Michael Williams. Execution of the search warrant on the Google accounts revealed the following. Williams using MikeWill437@gmail.com and NW03@gmail.com accounts searched the address of the residence on multiple occasions, with the first search on April 10th, 2020, and the most recent search on June 15th, 2020, 4 days after the date of the arson. On April 14th, 2020, Williams, using the MikeWill@gmail.com account, conducted a search for can you drive in Florida without a tag as long as you have insurance on your car. On April 17th, 2020, Williams using the MikeWill@gmail account, conducted a search for where can I buy a 50-cent custom machine gun, a 50 cal custom machine gun. In May 2020, Williams, using the MikeWill@gmail account, viewed multiple YouTube videos about Jane Doe. On May 23rd, 2020 and May 25th, 2020, Williams, using the MikeWill@gmail account, visited several websites about female individuals who made allegations against Kelly. He also searched Surviving R. Kelly News and R. Kelly News. On June 7th, 2020 and June 9th, 2020, Williams, using the MW03 Gmail account, conducted a search for countries that don't have extradition with the United States. On June 21st, 2020, Williams, using the MikeWill@gmail.com account, conducted a search for fertilizer and diesel fuel, and subsequently visited websites titled How Do Fertilizer Bombs Work? Detonation properties of mixtures of ammonium nitrate based fertilizers and fuels. God damn. And why fertilizer can be an explosive mixture. Jesus. On June 28th, 2020, Williams, using MikeWill437@gmail account, conducted a search for witness intimidation and case law for tampering with a witness, and visited websites laying out the statutory language and penalties of Title 18, United States Code Sections 15, 12, and 1513. On July the 9th, 2020, Williams, using MikeWill437 at gmail.com account, visited websites that contain the statutory language for Title 18, United States Code Sections 2423, transportation of minors, 2422, coercion and enticement, 2421A, promotion or facilitation of prostitution, and 1962 racketeering. Based on my participation in this investigation, there is probable cause to believe that Williams was attempting to review each of the statutes with which Kelly is currently charged. Because public filing of this document could result in a risk of flight by the defendant, as well as jeopardize the government's investigation, your deponent respectfully requests that the complaint and arrest warrant be filed under seal. Wherefore, your deponent respectfully requests that the defendant, Michael Williams, be dealt with accordingly to law. There we have it. Ammonia nitrate. Damn. That nigga's gonna blow up the whole fucking block. Wow. And this fool got a nerve to go on his thing and say Levi and Bozo are using scare tactics. I peep game. I'm going to say this to you, brother. I don't know if you got my live up, but I hope you do. Bro, when they come and get you, I'm going to say he thought we was using scare tactics, but we really was warning the dumb motherfucker. Just want to let you know that. But something else, I want to see something for a second. Because if I don't got to let y'all go, I'm not going to do it. Whew. When was this sent? Hold on, let me see. Okay. I'm waiting. I ain't get the other one yet, but it's coming. It's coming. And this next one is going to be more deadlier than the three I read today. This next one is coming. It's going to be, oh my God. It's going to be brutal. People are actually going to be named in this motherfucker. It's going to be brutal. And it's going to get ugly. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. Princess Diana, they was going to blow some shit all the way the fuck up. Like, God damn, yo, like, why would you do Rob like that, though? Why would you even put him in a position to do some shit like that? Man, that's going to blow up blocks. Ammonia nitrate? That should have taken out 7 houses alone. And then you add that shit with diesel fuel? Man, that shit would have wiped out that whole fucking block. Man. I feel sorry for all of the subscribers over there at Big Bug and George Jefferson Place. I do. I honestly feel sorry for all of y'all. I do. Because y'all so brainwashed, or should I say, y'all got Stockholm syndrome to the thing that y'all believe anything that a fucking criminal tell you. I'm done. I'm done. Mr. Wonderful J, my question is, how do you know? How do I know what? That ammonia nitrate will blow up a whole block? Is that what you asking me? One thing about me, but I tell you, I wasn't always a nice guy. And I wasn't always on the right side of the fence. So I tell you what ammonium nitrate to do. That was one of my specialties as a kid. That's why I stayed in juvenile hall as long as I did. And then they got tired of me being in juvenile hall. So they just started sending me to the house and not my house. I made up on my 17th birthday that I don't got to live like this. And that's after being shot and everything. And I show you my scars. Hey, Russell. I feel sorry for the subscribers over there. I do. I'd rather for them to go somewhere else. Don't come back this way. If you was rocking over here and you left for whatever reason, don't come back this way. I'm sorry. I don't want that added stress over here. Vendetta, and we went to school, sir. Yeah, we did go to school. That's one. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it real. It was 4 things that kept me in school all the way through college. Butter Crunch cookies. What is them little round pizzas? The little round pizzas. I got to hoop and play football in school and females. And then if I had to choose another path, I would say music kept me there. But trust me, ask anybody that went to school with me. Better yet, ask anybody and what happened when I got banked in front of Lake Clifton by the Harford Road dudes. Ask what happened after that. How many houses and mysteriously start blowing up. Come on, man. And that's not something that I'm bragging about. I'm just telling you exactly what the fuck it was. I was a fucking menace to society as a kid. I'm surprised I'm not dead. Yes, it do hurt Kel's case a lot. Because this is what he's being charged with. Stuff that they're doing. So, yes, it hurts his case a lot. One thing I'm not ashamed of is my past. Because without a past, I wouldn't have a future. That's why I can talk to kids on the street the way I talk to them for to help change their life. Come on, bro. I wasn't always the same, but that's why when I get to that point and I tell you, like, nigga, it ain't shit you can do with me. I'm trying to tell you for a reason, bro. Because when I go there, I go all the way there. I don't stop. I go all the way there. I go all the way through the rabbit hole and won't care about the outcome. So I keep it 100 with you. There's no capping over here. So I'm going to keep it a buck. Rob said when I met him, I was a savage. Sunshine said I did ammonia and lie. Laugh out loud. Fuck it. Oh, Lord. You trying to take somebody's skin off. You put ammonia and lye together and throw it on somebody, that's a forever burning sensation that they will never forget. And it's going to eat down to the bone. Because the lye makes it stick and the ammonia nitrate eats. Vendetta, what was that? What was the question? Oh, well, Toy said, answers hell no. Yo, but that's why I say, like, yo, to see that somebody was inquiring about ammonia nitrate and quantities of it, nigga, he was fitting to take out everybody. And they added these clowns to fit their RICO charge on him. This is insane. Yeah. Yeah. This is another reason why he couldn't get out. Makes sense now. and you got Bedbug and George Jefferson, and you got Hollywood Next on the goddamn internet, along with Texas Black Diamond and Don Russell and Sandra on the internet. But then you got these jokers behind the scenes going the fuck off. Then you got one of them that's on the internet acting like he dropping music. It makes sense. That's why he said we are coming. It makes sense. But like I told him, I invite you. Because just when you think you throwed off, I'm going to show you a throwed off motherfucker. Georgia girl, I can't answer that online. Yeah, look, the federal government went and search law. They wasn't playing. But one thing that comes to mind, and it's making sense now, because if I-1 is connected to Yo that blew up the car, and I-1 is connected to Bedbug, why wouldn't Bedbug know that the car was on fire? Things that make you go, Now we see what they were going to do with $1 million. They were pretending to raise for Kells. They wanted Dollar for the King campaign out of the way so they could get paid and split the money. Kimberly Nicole, what's your cash at? Now we see what they were doing to do with $1 million. They were pretending to raise for Kells. They wanted Dollar for the King campaign out of the way so they could get paid and split the money. Is Levi on this thing? I'm going to leave that right there. Hold on. I ain't going to call him from my hotline. I'm going to call him from my phone.
What up, Dana?
Man, call my hotline number right now.
What happened?
Just call it right now. 470-355-8221.
All right, bad.
All right. 115 code 4. If he takes too long to call, I'm going to call his ass. Yo.
Hey, what's happening?
Listen to this. Listen to this. Now we see what they were going to do with $1 million. They were pretending to raise for Kells. They wanted Dollar for the King campaign out of the way so they could get paid and split the money.
You have proof of this?
Nigga, I'm live now. I just read it.
And this is when you say, oh, wow, bro, this is deep.
When I said I'm coming back to read them other two indictments,
yes,
that's what I did when you decided to go to sleep.
No, I'm out with my friend.
Nah, nigga, you sleep.
No, what you do? Hold on. What you?
Okay, no. Look, this is what I'm gonna do.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing? I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to bother you. I'm gonna give Levi back to you. I'm sorry.
It's cool. No, we out in the sports bar. We out on a date.
Okay, well, guess what, Levi? Call me back when you get home.
I will, brother. As soon as I get home.
All right.
I promise you.
All right. Whoever that was that just called, call back. Or better yet, I'm gonna call you. Because this is crazy. Hi, you just called Dantes Jackson phone. How can I help you today?
It's a stupid thing, isn't it? Yo, like, you hear that?
Huh?
I said, did you hear what you was reading?
Yeah.
Like, basically, whoever this anyway, but he was really in his Google search looking up, they got all that shit. Like, how dumb can you be? And then you had a nerve to look up how much time can you get for witness stand. What? Like, how dumb? I hope this wake up everybody. Like, every move he made, they was on it. These phones track everything, and then y'all so stupid. How you got a passport and then you gave him the same freaking email to use to go purchase shit to bomb something, dummy?
But you want to know the crazy thing?
Wish this on R. Kelly like he told y'all to do. Ain't nobody tell y'all to do that shit.
But you want to know the crazy thing about all this, Just?
Wait, this is the part I wanted to ask you. You see the part where they say that him and Angelo had a fight?
A1
That's when
had an argument?
Yeah, with Angelo. In that part, right?
That's what gave it away to who A1 was to me.
Okay, right. Okay. So you on point. You on point like me, bro. We all...
And it's not a man.
Right.
Huh?
And then my whole point was this. I didn't know that I1 was staying in Florida.
I didn't know that neither.
So this whole time, like, this is crazy.
But that I1 is not a man.
And Rob never told none of y'all to do none of this. And they gave it away when they put R. Kelly's old publicist cousin. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, y'all women got kids out here and shit. Like, y'all stupid. Like, y'all is crazy. And then the whole crazy part about it is all of them over there, oh yeah, she burnt up her car. Like, y'all, when she came on her live, she basically gave it away when she told y'all. She said, oh yeah, it's an ongoing investigation. The person dropped their jacket. She's giving y'all hints on her live.
Look at what I just texted you.
It's about Dana burnt something up. Like, shut up.
Look at what I just texted you. Don't say what I just texted you, but just look at what I just texted you.
I know. I already know. I just said stupid as shit. Y'all got kids and shit.
This is sad. This is sad. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to you offline because...
And then, you know what else, too? Remember the other day when I was saying when people was up there on that other side threatening on, the fake doc channel when you said CJ and she threw the names in there and all dummies. Like, y'all some dumbass. Oh, yeah. Tell CJ, don't move out yet. Don't do that. I ain't gonna say the other name, but when I just said that, y'all know what I'm talking about.
She actually put his name out there like that?
Yes, she did. We was all sitting on the line for 2 hours. That's why I always say, don't play with us, stay in the bush. Yep, she put his name on the fucking lie and act like he gonna rock for her and do some damage about her too and all this. Okay, dummies. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to you off your line.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Damn. See, I don't go over there, so I don't know that, but shit. No, Levi was not at Larry's house. No, Levi was not at Larry's house. Kevin Terrell's son was at Larry's house. Gucci, okay. Yeah, because, they keep me out the loop. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. This shit is sad, though, man. I'm going to be honest with you, sad. Shit, real sad. This man got to pay for something he don't got no idea what the fuck going on. This is sad as hell. Sunshine, why you ask me that? And we not talking about that right now. She said, "Oh well." Yo, this is sad. I don't know what Cash cousin name is. I put like this: if you think I'm gonna drop names on here, you fucking crazy. I ain't dropping nobody name. Only thing I'm gonna say is every dog got their day. That's all I'm gonna say. Every dog got their day. Every dog got their day. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, this is fucking sad, man. This is really sad. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all stay tuned. Because I got another indictment coming. And trust me, when I read this, y'all heads gonna drop. Rob did not. You put Rob did authorize them. No, Rob did not authorize them to do that. Just type it too fast. It's sad, man. Of course, people gonna let Robert know, Miss Thomas. You know, I'm not, man. I'm not even gonna play around with it. I'm gonna definitely let him know, and he gonna be hurt, especially about I-1. I ain't gonna lie, I'm hurt about I-1. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm terrified right now about I-1, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. Damn. I don't know how many years they gonna get Bree. I don't know. It's up to the judge. I don't know how many years they gonna get. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? Ammonia, nitrate, and diesel? Oh my God. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I'll find out exactly what it do. Hold on. Only one person to ask. A former Navy SEAL. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey, Ma.
Hey there.
All right, let me see Mr. Jerry real quick.
Okay, 1 minute. He was asleep, but hold on 1 minute. Is it urgent?
No, but I'll call y'all back tomorrow.
Hold on. Let me wake him up. Hold on, Jerry.
Man, that's okay. But I'll call y'all back tomorrow.
He's getting up. Hold on. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Hold on for a second. He's getting up.
Nah, you ain't had to wake him up. I said I'll call y'all back tomorrow. It's okay.
He's coming. Hold on. Dana.
Nah, but let him go ahead and sleep, man. It's okay.
No, he's up already now. You know he's going to get mad for getting up. Hold on.
I know that's why I said that.
Yeah, but he's coming. Look, I'm not going to beg you to get off. Just hold on to the phone, okay? He said he was coming. Hold on. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Hold on. Here you go. Okay, you said work turn.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? But I ain't know you was going to bed for this early, man. You acting like an old person.
Well, I ain't no spring chicken.
I got a question, Pop. With your experience, right? How much damage will ammonia nitrate and diesel gas together do if it's ignited together? Ammonia nitrate.
Well, yeah, I know ammonia nitrate is, yeah.
And diesel fuel.
Yeah, it's fertilizer. Yeah, they use that for bomb. They use that in the Oklahoma bombing.
Yeah, but that'll take out blocks, right?
Depending on how much it is. Depending on how much you use.
So if you get enough of it.
Yeah, it's a whole, oh yeah.
And I'm saying, and I'm just guesstimating like a gallon of each. Oh no. I'm guesstimating about
a truckload.
A truckload, yeah.
A small U-Haul truckload.
Yeah. That'll be like 15 gallons. About 15 gallons of each. That'll take out a whole block, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna take more than that. 15 gallons. You buy it by the bag.
Okay.
Bags.
Okay.
And
see, I figure if anybody know, you'll know.
Yeah, it comes in bags. Yeah, the fertilizer stuff. That's what they use for the users. You can't even buy that. If you buy more than 2 or 3 bags, man, the police will be on you.
So if you buy more than 2 or 3 bags of ammonia nitrate, the police will be on you?
Hell yeah.
Why?
That's a bomb. You make it. That's explosive, man. You don't need to use that much.
Wow.
Maybe a bag full, but fertilizer stuff, not no 2 or 3 bags more than that. Yeah, man. It's just that Timothy McVeigh had bought all that stuff and used a U-Haul truck and drove it into that building in Oklahoma.
Wow.
They've been monitoring that stuff, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that stuff ain't no joke, man. It's very, very explosive.
All right, well, look, I know you still sleep, but I told Mama not to wake you up, but she said you was already getting up.
Anyway.
But look, I'm gonna call you when I get off, okay?
All right, man.
All right.
Bye.
Right. Make that make sense. Vendetta, but they say I work for Homeland Security. Then they say I'm a security guard. Then they say I'm a mall cop. Man, which one am I? Can they make up their mind? I work for Homeland Security. I'm a mall cop. I'm a rental cop. I'm a security guard. Shit, which one am I? So now y'all see what it say. And like I say, don't nobody know other than people that work with that type of stuff for 27 years in the military. And if he would have heard me say that, he would have snapped on me because he don't want people to know that he was even in that part of the military. I guess that's what they all say. Man, like I said, this is crazy. You know what? I'm about to call Rand and tell her. I'm about to find out. They reaching. Keep reaching. Oh no, I got something coming that's gonna irk them. That's gonna hurt them. Your call. Okay. Okay. Damn, I'm a security guard. That's military shit. I don't know what the hell going on. The R. Kelly article just popped up on my device. Okay. He don't want the hit. Hey, I got a question. Now I work for Homeland Security. I said now I work for Homeland Security. Yeah, now I work for Homeland Security. Hold up. Are y'all live? Why would you be live? Bye. Why would they be live? See? They took off. And that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take off. And they ain't looking back. So I need y'all to help subscribe to my page, y'all. Please. I really do. I need y'all to help subscribe to my page. Because I need some subscribers. I only got 3,000. So I need some subscribers. Just a rash poor prima donna while she's pregnant. What? None of them going to do shit to Prima. I'm going to tell you that now. That's another renegade right there that you don't want to get started. You don't want to get her started. But all right, y'all. Keep God first in everything you do. You kill hate, lies, envy, distractions with love, truth, and honesty. Be someone important. Be yourself. Elephants don't swat flies. And remember this right here. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. The last one, keep Robert in your prayers. The vultures are being exposed. All right? Peace. Love y'all. Don't forget, if I get something in the middle of the night, or if I get something in the morning, or if I get something tonight, I'm coming back. We gonna talk. All right? Good night, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Thank everybody. And don't forget, subscribe to my page. Get your friends to subscribe to my page. I need your subscriptions. I do. All right? Thank y'all. Bye-bye.